Hey guys, welcome back to another round of Cyborg Gaming. I am here in Anvil, right at the Anvil Castle, continuing on the allies for Bruma quest, and trying to get Bruma some backup support when opening the main Oblivion Gate up in that area. So we're going to get sent from location to location, and pretty much what we need to do is convince the Countess or Count to send aid to Bruma. And to do that, they want their own cities protected, so we are going to go and close the Oblivion Gates that are in front of their town. And then once that's done, they don't need to worry about their towns as much, and then we can get some aid. So let's go in here. A little bit of lag. And
Hello there.
you might remember him. I think that is the stranger. Can't quite tell. Alright, either way.
I would like to send help to Bruma, but Chancellor Okato has performed I won't risk my guard attacking that infernal. I would like to...
So let's try a little bit of bribery. Let's see if we can get her to open up a little bit.
Thanks. I would like to send... Goodbye.
Okay, looks like we got the update. I didn't see that occurring. So let's get out of here and let's see if we can get this updated. Okay, so it looks like we did get the updated map marker. I guess I just didn't notice it when we were going through. But now, she indicated basically, yeah, they want her town protected before anything. So let's go knock out this Oblivion Gate. We're not going to really get any help, I guess. So come off right to the side here. And it should be pretty fast for us to find. And mention it every single time I go into Oblivion Gate. Make sure you got like room for inventory, as there's a lot of really good items, a lot of magic items, things like that you can really only get within these Oblivion Gates. So let's go take out a couple of these. And yeah, it might be a little bit boring just kind of going through. This is going to get very repetitive. This is, I think, only the third Oblivion Gate that I've gone through in this gameplay. I've tried to go through in the past and do like all of them. Not worth it. We'll see how this run goes. We want to get as much help for Bruma as possible, but I also don't really want to just burn myself out on these Oblivion Gates and just repetition after repetition. But you can see we got a little sack over here. These flesh pods usually have something decent in them. Nothing so special this time, though. So this might be one of the ones we need to watch out, where there's a tunnel off to the side, and it's very easy to miss. So it'll kind of blend in with the map on like the right side, but we'll have to wait and see. A lot of these Oblivion Gates can get kind of repetitive. There's about like, same thing with the caves, probably like 5 different variations. And once you've seen those 5, you'll know how to beat all of them. So that doesn't have any connector. That's going to shoot a fireball at me. Yep. Let's see if this... Really? Oh, that is so annoying. That's one thing. There's spiders in here. Oh, that is so annoying. I don't know if I've ever run into one of the guys with these swords before. Great thing to add to your own, Dude. I'm stuck here in a loop. Alright, let me clip it to the point where I get this done. Pretty much as soon as I shut off the recording, he lost all the power on his sword, and it became pretty useless. So let's go through the tunnels here, and hopefully that will lead us to the path to the tower we need to get to. Alright, let's fall in. So these guys definitely have a lot of health. They can be a little obnoxious. Especially when it's a group of them, that's when I start to kind of worry that I'm getting myself into a little bit too much trouble. And hopefully I can work my way through this without getting lost. Oh, nice. Always kind of check the flesh pods. I feel like they have some pretty good items for me usually. You can see a couple in here. And you're done. Fire salt's not bad. And we got one more. that one's not so useful. So let's head down. Let's see what we can find here. Is this going to take us right back out? Alright, let's find out here. I think this should be the correct one. Okay, so we're looking good so far. I do have to check the map on these ones pretty regularly. Alright, so let's head down. This will definitely up my sword. I probably should have even done a little bit of repair hammering on my weapons and stuff like that before coming in here. So, let's see. I think this is just back where we came from. I believe so. So I'm going to head backwards. Hopefully this isn't too confusing and you're going to be able to use this to help work your way through the tunnel. These flame ones are pretty simple overall. I never really have a problem with them. Ah, void salt's nice. Alright, let's work our way up. Let's hope we get out of this tunnel sooner or later. But obviously, if you're running into enemies in the area, that means you're probably going the right way as you haven't been there before. So we got another flesh pod. Let's check it out. 33 gold, okay. So it's something I haven't taken out yet. And then we got another door. So let's take this, exit out. Let's see if it's going to lead us into another tunnel. Perfect. Okay. So let's go off to the side here. So obviously we're getting closer to the main tower, and that's really the goal. Sometimes though these will lead you into like a little bit of an outside space and then directly into another tunnel that will bring you closer to the gate. So I can just kind of sprint around and eventually we should find a main entrance here. So you can see an enemy up here. Yep, we got another tunnel. Take him out. Nice long sword. I'll probably switch to that over... I'm still just using a silver sword. I just wanted to make sure I had something that allows me to take out ghosts. So I don't believe this tunnel will be as long as the previous one. Let's work our way up here. Don't want the claymore, but I'll grab the staff. So I really want that Daedra armor, but I definitely think I need to be a little bit higher level than I currently am. So let's go forward. Another clan fur. Another one. And you should have this exact same Oblivion Gate when you go through Anvil, I'm pretty sure. I think for the main missions, they stay the exact same. So, I think we should be good here. And we should come right out. Let me grab that flesh pod, too. I don't need the vest. I think we're pretty close to the main gate now. So, let's go off here to the right. No, 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 no. Alright, we'll check this way. So, ooh. Alright. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. So pretty much obviously what you want to do is just continue to work your way up the tower. Or up to the tower. In some of these Oblivion Gates, you're going to need to go to like a smaller tower, which is like those ones, and they will be able to extend out, and then they'll bring you to the top of the main tower. Those ones are usually pretty simple. They definitely have enemies inside the smaller towers that try to be, you know, protective of it, but usually you can get some decent items from those guys, and there'll be a couple sacks also with, you know, healing and different type of magical items. The tunnel ones, in my opinion, are the worst, as they are usually the longest, at least for me, as they're a little bit more obtuse on how to get up. So we're going to just continue to go, and nice. So now at this point, ooh, ebony warhammer, okay, nice. It should hopefully only just take me, I don't know, 5 minutes or so at this point to work my way up. So you can see here, there's really not much I have to worry about. Let's just go up. I'm not going to keep on taking on those guys. If it takes more than like 5 swings to take out an enemy, sometimes I'll just, yeah, skip over them. So you are easy though. Not really sure what that guy just said. Sounded like he was cussing me out for a second. Nice, nice, nice. And let's go find this door over here to the monolith. So as long as we are working our way up, we are doing good. So perfect. This is the stairs we were looking for. Looks like we might have one more level. Let's see. My apparel is broken. That's okay. I'll heal up and repair my armor before the next Oblivion Gate. So I do have an arrow that's also pointing me to Gavatch. I do not remember that one at all. And I also have one for the Imperial City. I could have sworn those two were excluded from this quest. So those two I am actually kind of interested in seeing what's going to happen there, as I just don't remember ever doing them. Yeah, that's fine. Man, I do not like you two. Alright, hack and slash, hack and slash. I had mentioned it earlier, but I definitely used a lot of the, you know, bow and arrows and sneak and stuff like that when I first played this. But man, I've done a lot of playthroughs on Oblivion, and I kind of got to the point where I was a little bit sick and tired of just sniping everybody and having, like, you know, the multiplier on the attacks taking basically just one-hitting everybody. So I, whatever reason, moved to a hack and slash method and strategy, and I wouldn't say it's really the best combat, but for whatever reason, it actually works out kind of well for me. And I definitely like getting to the point where I'm plus 100, like at 100 for heavy armor, as I think if maybe it's that one, but it makes it so that the items are super light. Or, and if you're wearing the items, it like doesn't do anything to your inventory, which is super nice. And yeah, I already got a longsword. I'll take the shield. Let's take that. And we got another way to go all the way up. Perfect. And I probably didn't explain that inventory. So basically, let's say your heavy armor in total across the cuirass, helmet, you know, all that stuff weighs 100 pounds. So your inventory would be 500 pounds if you weren't wearing it. If you are wearing it, it will drop your inventory down to 400, as if you didn't have it in your inventory at all. So it's a really nice thing to have, especially as somebody who's heavy armor. You know, cuirass can weigh 40, 50 pounds. I like to have a lot of inventory and a lot of, you know, pretty much just grabbing everything possible. I try to not be as bad while I'm recording and stuff like that, but that, in my opinion, especially within the Oblivion Gates, the best part of the game is just going through and grabbing as much loot as you can. So at this point, I don't really care about these guys as much. I'm going to just grab a couple things. You can see I'm passing up some loot right there. These guys are kind of interesting, but same thing. They're just going to weigh, you know, they just take up a lot of damage, so I can hit that seagull stone and just kind of take these guys out. So now I don't really have to deal with them. I got the seagull stone, and I am off to the next town. So let me go back to the Countess and let her know that the Oblivion Gate has been closed. Obviously, I wasted enough money on bribing her. I might as well get my end of the, you know, deal. So let's just teleport really quick. So let's go to the map. Let's go right here. And at this point, yeah, we have pretty much we've completed the Anvil Oblivion Gate. We will now have their aid for Bruma, and I'm gonna go on to the next town and continue on doing this. I'm not so sure I'm gonna go and complete them all, of course, but I would like to get at least a good battle for the main Oblivion Gate. It's a big battle. I think 3 to 4 Oblivion Gates will open up at once, and a massive gate will open up that's maybe like 3 times the size of a regular gate. It's a really fun battle. The more people you have, obviously wear and tear on your computer or Xbox, things like that, but it just makes the battle just that much more awesome. So I want to have a pretty good video for that and have you guys see what it can be.
I've heard that you've closed the Oblivion Gate outside Anvil. With Anvil safe for the moment, I will send some of you too.
Alright guys, so that is the Anvil Oblivion Gate and the aid for Bruma. Yeah, it's just a bunch of tunnels there, so I hope you guys saw basically where the tunnel is. It's probably not the greatest area to show on camera for how to get through the tunnels, but I hope you guys found that video helpful, and I'm going to continue on with the aid for Bruma quest here in Oblivion Remastered. But I hope you guys found that one helpful, and I'll catch you on the next one.